In today's episode of the Pathway Presents podcast, I got a very interesting guest here with me today. I'm with Abbey Charles, and she's heading over as a content lead over at gun.io, and they help you to hire world-class developers. And today we want to talk with Abbey about gun.io first and foremost, what the guys are doing over there, but also how she's thinking about growth as a content leader, and also what role kind of plays in their growth. So a lot of marketers listening in, so very curious to learn more about Abbey and gun.io. So welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Very cool. So tell us a bit about gun.io. What is it all about? What are you guys doing? Who are you serving and the likes?
So gun.io is a freelance marketplace. We cater to mid to senior level tech talent. So generally people who have been developers and above for a minimum of like 5 years. So a lot of like senior level talent, CTOs, managing level and above. All of our talent is vetted by senior level developers on an internal team. And on the other side of that, we have companies who come to us for hiring, and we vet those companies as well, so that when a developer comes to us, they can be sure that the company that they're going to be working with and for has a good business plan, that they have a clear vision of what they're using our developers' time for, stuff like that. And on the same token, the clients who are hiring developers through us know that the talent we have has already been vetted. We usually will present qualified candidates to a client, and they'll choose one out of the 5 that we present to them. Hiring time generally from from when they contact us to when they hire somebody on is around 14 days.
Oh wow,
which
that's
is
exceptional.
It's really quick, and especially in the tech world. So I think that's probably one of the places that like people find the most value with us, is cutting down on hiring time, getting somebody qualified in the door quickly.
Makes a lot of sense. Now, very interesting. So who would be the types of organizations that you would be working with? Is there certain, like of course, developers work in tons of different industries, but like, is there a certain sort of like focus that you have? Is there certain industries that you cater to? Maybe give an insight on that.
We don't necessarily cater to specific industries, but I would say the majority of our clients are kind of late stage startups. We do have some bigger clients we've worked with in the past, like Tesla and Amazon and stuff like that. But I would say the majority of our clients who are hiring talent are late stage startups.
Very cool. Now, tell me, how do these people learn about you guys? I mean, there's a lot happening in the recruiting world. There's a lot happening in the tech and the developer recruiting world. Like, how, what's the journey of them hearing and getting started with Gun?
Yeah. So up until probably around a year ago, we were mostly focused on growth marketing. So everything we did was outbound. Everything we did was inbound, based on Google ads, sponsoring podcasts, sponsoring newsletters, partnering with other organizations, having people spread by word of mouth. So it's been really good. We just took funding last year, and the company's been around for 10 years. So it was a fully solvent, growing business, bootstrapped for the first 10 years with only doing that inbound marketing. So we recently funded and are now moving into doing more outbound. I was brought on a little over a year ago to start doing content and organic marketing. My background has always been traditionally been in brand marketing. I was a copywriter for a long time, and then was a software developer. So now I just write and do content about tech, which is kind of the best of both worlds. So we've seen a pretty significant increase in our organic traffic over the last year, which has been really encouraging. Content is something that moves very slow. So to kind of see that come back and see the growth from that side of things has been really encouraging.
Very cool. Now, what role do you attribute to the website? When people getting you guys, like we've seen, marketers in the recruitment space, and in some cases, actually, it's very much heavily, going via the website. In other cases, it's less. Like, what would you say? Like, what role does the website play for Gun?
So the website serves as our marketing platform for the most part. We do have a separate product that is kind of like an internal product that we use. But the website is kind of where you go for all of the information about what the company is, what you can expect when you hire through us, what you can expect when you're freelancing through us. Kind of just serves as like an informational marketplace for people who want to work with us on either side. From there, you can move into the app, which is where our developers apply to be a part of the platform and where clients express interest in hiring through our platform. So we kind of have like these two different sides of the business, and one half of it is something that's like probably the thing that it kind of fuels everything we do, but it's the thing the least amount of people see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Very good. So, I mean, it's quite interesting what you guys are doing. And now what we see is like a lot of marketers actually have, there's kind of the love-hate relationship with the website very often, right? So people, marketers change it a lot, but then of course there's also strengths to the pages. Like, what's your thoughts about Gun.io? Like, how do you think about the page? Like, what is something that you feel will need updating? What works well? Maybe tell me a bit about that.
I think the area that we're looking at making the most improvements is setting it up as like informational resources. So we don't want people to feel like they're being left behind once a contractor is hired on. I think that there are a lot of things about freelancing and about hiring freelance remote developers that are people are mostly learning like trial by fire over the last few years. So if we can help demystify that process by letting our website serve as a good resource for what it's like to work with remote developers, what kind of things developers need to do to file taxes, for example. If you're a first-time freelancer, that can be really confusing. I know the IRS doesn't mess with it here. But basically to just kind of position ourselves as like the experts in the freelance remote world, and provide that as a resource for anyone to access regardless of whether they're working through us or not.
Very good. Cool. Now I'd like to switch gears a little bit, right? Talked a lot about Gun. We talked a lot about, growth and what you guys are doing. We'd love to talk about your journey, right? As a content leader, you've been a content manager, you've actually been a front-end developer yourself. So you're a very creative mix between writer and developer. What I'm interested about is now a couple of rapid fire questions as we slowly, moving towards the end of the interview. But first, what I would like to know is with all the content out there, right? As a content for content marketers, there's a lot of it, of course. So, where do you like to educate yourself? Where do you like to read? What's your go-to places?
I'm kind of a busybody, so I like to listen to a lot of podcasts. Lenny's podcast is a big one on our team. Trying to think what else. JavaScript Party, I like. I kind of just try to listen to things that have a finger on the pulse of what's going on around here. One of the places I get a lot of good information as far as reading and other content is the Developer Marketing Alliance. It's an organization that's strictly geared towards developer marketing, which is kind of a whole different beast from marketing other products and marketing to other audiences of people. Yeah, and they kind of have they have other things under their umbrella. They have a community alliance as well. So learning things about how to build better communities through meetups and activities and stuff like that. I think they've been an awesome resource for me.
Gotcha. Very cool. Now some rapid fire questions to wrap it up for today. You ready for those?
I'll give them a go. Yeah.
What is the last book that you read?
Oh God, I don't want this to paint me in a weird light, but the last book I read was The Stranger Beside Me by Anne Rule, which was about her her friendship with Ted Bundy.
No, I mean, there's a lot of true crime fans out there, no, I would say.
Yeah. I originally went to school to do criminal studies, so
I see. Very good.
Kind of ahead of the curve.
What's the one single thing that Gun is focused on the most at the moment?
Man, I would say I think it's that, there's a lot of focus on how majority of jobs come from job boards and things like that. And, I think that there's a human element that we're really trying to pursue and trying to show people how important it is to have that human connection, to have somebody guiding you through a process, to have somebody that's always there as a resource. I think that, we've dove into this world of like AI everything and ATS trackers. And, I think at the end of the day, everybody who is looking for a job wants to know that the job that they have and the job that they're looking for is something that's fulfilling to them, that the people they're working with are good people. So yeah, I think just kind of like honing that in for our brand and kind of sharing that message farther and wider than we have so far.
Very cool. Now, the very last question, right? I'd like to do a little bit of time travel. If we go back to the days of Boulder, Colorado, University of Colorado Boulder, like if you would have been heading out of education, right? You're finishing up formal education. What's the one advice you would give yourself for your journey?
Oh, wow. My journey's been all over the map, kind of literally and figuratively. And I would just say everything you're doing will land you in a position where you are finally really happy with what you're doing, where you believe that what you're doing is for the right reasons, you work for a good company and good people, and to trust the process and exercise a little patience.
We appreciate that. That's been very insightful and very, very transparent. Really appreciate that insight. So I will really thank you for joining Pathmonk in our show today. So thanks a lot for being a guest on Pathmonk Business.
Thank you so much, Lucas. This has been great.